Sum up how this feels for you guys and what you've achieved tonight for both yourself and for Scottish rugby as a whole.
No, it's a fantastic feeling. I mean, winning is a great feeling, and yeah, maybe my enthusiasm is different than the two players next to me. So but really grateful and thankful. I'm a religious person, and I'm really thankful for the grace today and this whole season. Again, we left the field without an injury, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of the boys, really proud of the group, really proud of the group that's not here as well. We had to leave boys behind to come and get this job done this week, but boys that have contributed a hell of a lot to our season this year, and just everyone at Glasgow Warriors and everyone in the community as a whole. Just really thankful for the support and the way they've got behind us this year, and yeah, can't wait to see them all when we get back.
As we've seen all season, I guess last weekend and again tonight, you guys had to really dig in. It was a really gritty performance. That must give you a lot of pride.
Yeah, for sure. I think the way the first 40 went, I think we would have taken 13-7 at half time. But again, like you say, I'm just really proud of the forwards, especially. The defensive effort they put up front, the way that no matter what was thrown at us, and credit to the Bulls, they fired a lot of shots in that first 40 and towards the end. But our big men, their physicality, the way they stayed calm, and the way they kept us in the game was unreal.
Hi Franco, congratulations guys. Franco, can I just ask you, I know you're a modest man, where does this rate in terms of your coaching achievements?
No, this is an important competition, it's class to win in different countries and travel the way we did this week to come out here, and I know the pride in the stadium, played here before, so that rate stop, I'm definitely convinced that it will be hard to beat this feeling.
And you're always a man with a plan. Is this, when you came in, at the beginning of last season, are you ahead of where you planned to be, or is this kind of where you expected to be at this stage?
Yeah, I think it's definitely where we expected to be, but tonight was an important ingredient. We always talk about a hard edge to Scottish rugby players, and I think tonight the boys proved that just that. To come here and play South African team on their home soil in front of 52,000 supporters, and then still win in the way we did, is a special accolade to the men. So, yeah, we've gone leaps and bounds. We've grown leaps and bounds, but again, the sensation and what we've achieved tonight will be an important ingredient going forward.
And a quick one for Matt. Congratulations, man of the match tonight, Matt. I can just about see you over the microphones. It's been a long, hard season from the World Cup. You seem to kind of hit. Are you playing as well as you ever have, and why is that after a 10-month season?
It's been a quality season in general. We are an up and down Six Nations with Scotland, but I think every time, especially after a campaign, we come back in. Franco's brilliant at reinvigorating the boys coming back from international rugby to come back into the team and bring that energy. And we had some great games in Europe, and then the last 4 games probably sums up the entire season in terms of the way the boys have fought and they've trained and they've not used the travel as an excuse, whatever it may be. And personally, it's been a pleasure to be a part of. And when you're playing with your mates and in such an enjoyable group, I think that brings out your best.
I think go to South Africa by short notice and win over there. What does that say about the character of the team?
No, obviously I'm really proud. I think it's more of what you guys are going to say about the team. It's important. So, no, from my perspective, fantastic. They've reacted very well. We've used disappointment in our favour. We've learned lessons. We had a saying during the season that we don't have to lose to learn, and they've embraced that mentality, and they're pushing the limits and the boundaries and perimeters that's expected at this level. So, obviously, really proud of the way they went about the business tonight and the way that they've bought into a plan. And I honestly think, this is just a start, hopefully, and we can, keep on progressing.
Great. And Kyle, tell us about these goggles.
So my dad and my brother are doing the security for us, and we've been on a couple of ski holidays back home, and I don't know, it's become a kind of a thing across rugby celebrations that you need goggles to protect yourself from all the champagne spray. So my brother, without letting us know, packed a couple of pairs, and then when we came into the change room tonight, he had them waiting. So myself and Sione and a couple of the boys have got them on.
Brilliant, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
Cheers.
Let's go. Gaff Harper.
Hi guys, congratulations. Matt, can you just sum up what this means to have won this trophy alongside Xander?
Yeah, I think it means absolutely everything. Like, I grew up at school watching Xander progress into the professional ranks, and I've watched him grow into arguably one of the best tight ends in the world, and you know the work he puts in, the 8-minute shifts he's done in the last 3 weeks are just beyond exceptional. And yeah, to win it with him and to do it for our family and our partners and kids and stuff back home is it's hard to put into words.
And Kyle, just how much of a springboard can this be? We've talked about, mentality being an issue for Scottish teams, for the national team. How much of a springboard can this be, not only for Glasgow but for Scotland as well?
Look, I think it can be huge. I think looking at it from a Glasgow perspective, this is Franco talks about that hard edge, and I think that's something we've kind of been searching for and working towards as a group. Particularly over the last 12 months, and there's just something about it that this you can't really get it until you've done it, if that makes any sense. And I think sort of the belief that particularly our forwards have shown up front in giving us that hard edge over the last 3 weeks. I think that gives us a lot of belief going forward. So.
Ryan Wilson talked during the week on his podcast about joining the celebrations. Has he sorted out a plan for you yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I absolutely love having Wills here. He made a plan to get over here with the URC. He's still one of us. We still love him, and he's still one of the boys. So he's in and amongst it. He's wearing a white linen shirt that already doesn't look so white. So really chuffed that he's out here with us and can share this with us. He's been a massive part of this group over the last 2 years.
Great stuff. Thanks, guys.
Callum Crowe.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Just a question for Franco. It's obviously been a long, hard season where a lot of the guys have been in camp for the best part of a year, going back to sort of pre-World Cup times last year. Are you going to give them some scope to let their hair down tonight and celebrate?
Never. No, of course, yes. I think there's a wrong perception of me in the media that no, we apart from working hard, there's no, of course, yes. This is tonight. What a pinnacle, and I'm really proud of them. They can really, they've just drowned me in all the champagne that's available anyway. So no, of course, we're not going to start up until the 1st of August. So these guys are now going to, unfortunately or fortunately, some boys are heading back in Scotland camp on Monday night already. But no, of course, I'm really proud of the boys and that they've worked so well. They deserve every minute, and if you play hard, then you can party hard, I suppose.
I heard you talking to Ryan Wilson post-match earlier on. Who's in charge of the cigars and whiskies, and where did that plan come from?
Yeah, I know. When I started a year ago, or 2 years ago, one morning, 7 o'clock, I rolled out whiskey for everybody to give them a wee taste on what it will be to have a dram of whiskey on the back end of a win, and I said, savor that, keep that in your mind, and one day, as soon as we can win something, we'll have an evening with where we can have a dram of whiskey and a cigar, and tonight I think these guys merit that.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Last one from back in Scotland, Andrew Petrie.
Well, congratulations, guys. Franco, I'll start with you. 5 minutes to go in that game. What were the emotions like? Obviously, you assumed quite a calm presence. Were you as calm 5 minutes to go? Yeah,
no, I was. Look, if you just look from a rugby perspective, we hardly give away a maul try this whole season, and I knew the Bulls were not going to play out of that, even if we have a yellow card. So we were had some good defensive sets before that. So I just felt if we stay patient and not get penalised, a turnover will happen. So, yeah, the way. So I can honestly say, and this is not to sound arrogant, I suppose, or that the nerves was under control. Let me put it in that way. I had calmness. I'm sure the belief in the boys through the process. We've been talking about a process the whole year. So I backed the process, and the boys were backing it, and that in the end, brought the success or the significance of this win.
And you talked after the game about building blocks. What's next for Glasgow Warriors after this? What do you want to conquer next?
Yeah, look, I still believe that there's a lot. We want to be the best version of ourselves. That is what we strive to be. You know, we don't play opposition. We play against ourselves. If you look yourself in the mirror, you must be honest and understand that you've given it all once you retire. So up till they retire, they must keep on giving it all, and that will be our challenge. You know, how many times and how often can we repeat a performance like tonight?
Just one for Kyle. There's been something in the water at Scotstoun this season. A lot of new dads in the squad. Do you think that's played a part in making the boys a little bit more mature and maybe helped to the success?
I don't know if it's made us any more mature. I mean, the way we're sitting here now, you probably don't think we're the most mature of boys, but I think just that, you know, Glasgow is a club that likes to connect to its community, connect to its family, and I think for so many of us, you know, to finally feel, you know, what it feels like to have your own kids and have your own family, I think that's certainly something that's brought us closer together. You know, and like, you know, Sione had his baby, you know, very recently, and I think it's just being able to share in that experience with boys and, you know, all across the squad, so many dads and a couple of moms too. I think that those experiences bring people closer together and give you a deeper sense of why you're out there and doing what you're doing.
Just finally for Matt as well, obviously, is the emotion of winning. Is there a feeling a bit of vindication as well? A couple of people had written you off, wrongly, obviously.
Had they?
Some, not me, some people.
I think it's been an up and down season. I think in the last probably month or so, I've sort of gone back to what makes me a good rugby player and the basics, and you know, I probably would get frustrated in games at certain times when things weren't going my way personally. I think I've sort of looked at the wider picture and the team and what I can bring to that. And so as I said earlier, when you're playing with your mates and people you love coming into work with, makes it all that easier.
Congratulations, guys. Question for you, Franco. A few weeks ago, you sat at Ellis Park and you were, let's say, a little glum after that performance. What have you done to sort of re-energize the group after that? Because obviously you needed the final surge and you pulled it off.
Yeah, if you looked at the game, there was two decisions that gone against us. That two offside penalties that should have been in our favour, where they scored 2 tries from. One when it was 14-8, and the other one it was 15-14. So if you look at the game in its whole, we were actually not bad on the day. So a lot of positives on the Monday and the Tuesday when we got back there and said, look, this is what we did. The scoreline wasn't against us, but rugby works like that. If you don't take your opportunities or you don't make the best of them, or if you make the best of them, that is what the scoreline is going to be. So we took a lot of positives from there and never tried to, you know, I always, in one game in the season will go bad, as much as one game will be good. So if you throw the best game and the weakest game out, you get the consistency across the park. So that was what we were heading into. We wanted consistency in performance, and you know, the boys fronted up. I think the Lions did us a big favour that night. So we took a lot of learnings from it, but also a lot of enthusiasm to bounce back off it. Yeah.
Franco, congratulations. Congratulations. Franco, just where did you see there was the turning point of the game? Was it when Elric dropped that ball and you guys got the penalty, which led to your maul try? And then for Kyle, you guys it was a bit of a mirror of the Munster game in the fact that you guys conceded quite a few penalties in that first half. Just how did you guys get the guys together and obviously keep the minds focused, and where do you see you guys getting on top there?
Yeah, obviously I think the score before halftime was important. How we got to that wasn't important for me, but the fact that when the opportunity arose, we scored. We had up to then six entries into the 22 and we converted none. So it was an important situation. But with that stat, going into the halftime talk was easy. You know, we knew that we were doing things right. We just weren't completing it, and then the penalty count was against us, and now Carl's going to answer that.
I think like you say, you know, it was a similar script to last week, and I think, you know, the fact that we had come through that gives boys a lot of belief in those moments, you know, that you've got a plan that works, and that if you stick to that, you can get the results. And then to be honest, it's guys like Matty that stood up, the way he did before half-time, a couple of really big carries, that kind of reignite that fire in boys that get that belief going and think get the ball rolling again, that you can get something done. And then I think that try before half-time was really crucial, as Franco says. And then we came in at half-time and, again, like Franco says, spoke about our process, a process that we really believe in and really trust in, and knew that, we couldn't let the scoreboard or the time pressure get to us. You just have to, you got to focus in on that moment, and once you've ticked off that moment, you go to the next moment, and that was the way we went at the second half.
I asked the hypothetical question yesterday about what it would mean to win so close to home against with the team and the place that you've made home. How does it feel, simply?
I can't put it into words, to be honest. I think to be able to share the final here with this group, who feel like family, feel like brothers and sisters, was incredible. But then to have my own family here, have mum and dad here. I had some really close mates, from school who I sat in these stands and watched games with. They were here supporting me today, and I think just that sense of belonging and where we've come from, makes us incredibly special.
We think that every Monday and Tuesday, Franco's beating you, but you're in there drinking whiskey. Talk us through that process and how it feels to have finished off that journey as well.
Again, I think if you look at where we were 24 months ago, Franco came in, and I think the biggest thing he had to do was to get us to believe and give us a sense of direction. And you think back to drinking whiskey out of a polystyrene cup on one of his first days. I think there were a lot of boys that thought he was insane, to be honest. But I think the consistency and the conviction, about how he goes about his business and what he believes in, I think that gave us a real sense of direction, and that got boys following him in behind. And now you're looking back at drinking whiskey out of those cups, and all of a sudden he doesn't seem so crazy.
Just one from Matt, if I may. Matt, you came into the squad on the back of that great team that won in 2015. This group's been desperate to write its own story. What does that feel like now that you kind of joined them on the balls at Scotland?
Yeah, it feels incredible. As you said, I've probably been in Glasgow 9 years now. There was a big mural just above our gym with pictures. I think it's Richie Vernon, Hoggy, Chris Fasaro, Tommy Seymour, all walking to the stands after the game, and that's something that we come in, look at every single day, and to sort of come in after a winning season in 2015, to come so close in 2019 at home, this just feels incredible. Sort of being in and amongst that sort of trophy winning seasons.
Congratulations, guys. Kyle, the coach says he was pretty calm towards the end there. How are you feeling though? Because towards the end there, you had a try disallowed for basically just a tackle that was a split second too early, and then the yellow card. I mean, on another day that could have gone the other way as well. Were you kind of feeling that, maybe things are turning against us? Yeah. How did you get over that?
Again, I think credit to the boys. They were really calm, and we've got leaders all over the pitch. And the message came on pretty early. When that TMO review came, and it was tactical things. About going into defence of 13-1. If we did get a yellow card, and I think that just kind of that kept boys from wondering about what if. That just kept boys on task, kept boys on focusing on what we needed to do. And again, I can't give enough credit to our big boys up front. The way they fronted up in those mauls, in those big D sets. In the last 10-15 minutes, I feel like they really broke the back of it and made sure that we came home safely.
And Franco, obviously the maul, how you guys mauled and how you guys defended the maul, obviously a massive part of the victory tonight. But your line out as well, and the way you contested on the Bulls ball especially, how pleased were you with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of work going in there in the week. We actually lost way too many lineouts tonight, to be honest. Out of character, I suppose. But yeah, there's a lot of work. I mean, I would compliment Scott Cummings and both him and Richie. We've got a line-out board, as we call them, and the boys work hard at it. We do a lot of work on opposition teams, and it paid off, yes.
So Franco, Kyle mentioned calm. You're down on the road to Munster, yellow cards come flying out. team remains calm, you get the business done. Tonight, you come out here and you're down 13-0 in the first half, and the Bulls are putting pressure on you. You keep coming down the pitch. What's the key here? Have you instilled discipline and calm into this team, and they just have the confidence going to do it? Because you also mentioned at the end of the game, your nerves were fine because you were comfortable the team was going to get done. So what's the key to keep this team so calm? Because that seems to have been a key component of the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think it's mutual trust. You know, we've started our theme for the preseason was trust. You know, a lot of the boys, we decided last year to, start late with the preseason. Not late, we stuck to our normal program. Everybody else started way earlier. We stuck to the 8-week, 6-week, 6.5-week programs, 8-week program. It depends on what we did. But they came into the building physically prepared, and that was their buy-in into the companies in our little company. You know, they and therefore the trust that they've earned and we've earned from each other allow us to concentrate on the task at hand instead of what we want. And I think that is the compliment to the boys again. The culture of the club, the management, the coaching group, Nigel and Pete, they bring calmness. We're organised. We know what we want. So I think all of those ingredients, this is not bragging. This is just explaining. Leads to mutual belief and mutual trust. So I think if I must sum it up, I think that's what it is.
Franco, I know yesterday you didn't want to give me what the game plan was, but if I were to ask you now, where would you say you feel you won the game?
Oh, look, we were going to meet them physically. I know what they want to bully you, and yeah, I've having personal experience from it, so they want to bully you physically, and I knew if we front up physically and we apply pressure instead of absorbing it, we can give ourselves the best chance. We wanted to have a little bit more width in the game, which we got with Hugh Jones's try in the end, which we didn't get to, and it was more because we didn't win the lineouts as we should. We're always going to take them on. For a bit of a saying, always going to take them on where they think they're strong, and it was in the set piece. So, and then obviously we knew that if we defensively front up, we'll take the initiative away, and then obviously the kicking game was important. 3 guys that if we're going to kick it too long and too far to them, we will allow them too much time on the ball, and we tried to obviously take that space away. So yeah, that in short, I won't go into detail, but that's more or less what it was.
And without sort of demeaning whatever other coaching roles you've had in your career, obviously some sterling ones, what's it like to sort of travel halfway around the world and still need to sort of come to Loftus to get a biggish win?
Look, we plan and we prep and we convince, but the way the players rocked up tonight, the credit must sit there. They were brilliant in believing. We said we're not going to use the travel as an excuse, so halfway around the world travel. We said we're not going to talk about the altitude. We didn't come up in any conversation this week. Not that it was forced, it was just, we knew that we just have to act on what we want. So the compliment sit with the team, the players tonight. They've didn't look for excuses. They kept on applying themselves, and I think they now banned the myth of the fact that altitude changes the outcome. If they are prepared to work hard the whole season, you give yourself the best chance in an important game.
And last one, Kyle, I think 6-7 years ago you were playing in this, what Greek was in the Super Sport Rugby Challenge. I don't know if you still remember the Sparfline fields that you used to play in. Just from a career sort of significance point of view for you, what's it like to be sitting here? I know you've played for Scotland before, which is obviously bigger, but just talk us through the significance of this moment with the context of where your career has been before.
Again, I think I said yesterday, having played the Super Sport Challenge or Varsity Cup here at Loftus, and then, coming back with Glasgow, life has a funny way of going in circles and making you reflect. And I think when I reflect, I just, the incredible support I've had, from family, friends and coaches through my career has been incredible. And I think just, moving halfway across the world, I think I just can't thank the people, the players and the people in Glasgow enough, for making it feel like home, for making, you know, us feel a part of the family, you know, and I think that's what drives you when you go out on the pitch on a game like tonight, and yeah, just incredibly grateful for the opportunity tonight.